Okay, chapter 21, part 3. Let's do this. Hello. My heart sank. It was Mum. Hello, Mum. Can I go for a burger with Marlon and the others? I asked. Cameron. I don't think that would be a good idea. Mum's reply was immediate. Please, Mum. I begged. I'm fine, and besides, no one except my friends knows where I am. Please, can I go? Please. And how would you get home? I'll phone you from the precinct as soon as we finished our burgers. Then you can come and pick me up, I said eagerly. I don't know, Cameron. Please? There was a long pause. Okay then, but you're to phone me within the next hour, without fail, Mum said sternly. Do you understand? Thanks, Mum. The next hour, Cameron. I mean it. Yes, I know. And be careful. Your face has been all over the telly and the newspapers. Someone might recognise you. On second thoughts, bye, Mum, I said, and I quickly put down the phone. I'd really get in the neck for that, but I was having such a good day I didn't want it to end. I can go, I told my friends. Great, what are we waiting for, said Andrew. Oh, I'm starving. And we all headed for the exit. I'm sorry about all those weirdo letters you've been getting, Marlon said as we walked out the leisure centre. You didn't write them, so it's not your fault, I said. But if I'd kept my mouth shut... Let it go, Marlon, I smiled. I have. Marlon looked at me and smiled back. I made a fist and playfully tapped him on the jaw. He made a fist and did the same. Then we both grabbed each other and had a wrestle down on the ground. Oh, Andrew gave a mock sigh. A Kodak moment. Marlon and I sprang up at that and told Andrew where to go. We all ended up walking along the road in fits of laughter. Are you Cameron Kelsey? I turned my head, still beaming away. A woman with light brown hair, a smart charcoal grey suit, and a smiling face stood behind me. I turned all the way round. Are you Cameron Kelsey, the pig heart boy? The woman repeated. She had a nice smile, a friendly smile. Her smile was all I could see as I nodded. Was she a journalist seeking an interview? Maybe she wanted my autograph. The woman brought her hands out from behind her back. Then all time slowed right down. I could see everything, hear everything, because each second seemed to last so much longer. I was surprised to see she had a bucket in one hand. The woman used her free hand to steady the bucket as she raised it. I saw it had something red in it. Red liquid sloshing around, red paint. Some of the liquid spilt over the side of the bucket and hit the pavement, splashing up onto my white trainers. The woman raised the bucket higher. Suddenly aware of what was about to happen, I raised my hands in protest. I opened my mouth to say no, and in that moment I was drenched. The red liquid hit me full in the face like a stinging punch. It filled my mouth and stung my eyes, and ran down my face like a red river. Only it wasn't paint, I could taste it. It was blood. Murderer! 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 The woman kept screaming at me, over and over, over and over. I spat and retched all over my shoes and the pavement. My salt and vinegar crisps mixed with the blood at my feet. Wiping the blood out of my eyes, I stared at the woman. Murderer! By this time, Marlon was at my side and shouting abuse at the woman. And then, just like that, we were suddenly surrounded. Yet I couldn't take my eyes off the woman before me. She was still screaming at me, ignoring Marlon, and never before had I seen such rage, such hatred on someone's face. Rage and hatred directed at me. Without warning, she flew at me, but a man and woman in the crowd around us pulled her back, which was probably just as well. I couldn't have moved if my life depended on it. I don't remember much after that. The police arrived and I was asked a lot of questions that I didn't answer because I couldn't open my mouth. Marlon did a lot of talking for me. Then I was bundled into a car and the next thing I knew I was at the casualty department of the local hospital. And still I couldn't speak. It was as if I was floating outside my body, watching everything that was going on but unable to take part in any of it. I was taken to a cubicle where I was cleaned up and then helped onto a hospital bed. After the nurse had taken my temperature and blood pressure and checked me over, a cup of hot, sweet tea was forced into my hands. I drank it because one of the nurses told me to, and because I was so cold. My whole body was freezing. Not numb, where you can't feel anything, but cold enough to feel as if my body was burning. The tea scalded my lips and burnt my tongue, but I drank it anyway. The tea helped a bit, so when they offered me another cup, I nodded immediately. When I looked up from my empty cup, Mum and Nan had arrived. I don't remember much about what happened then either. Nan came and sat down on the chair beside my bed and she held my hand without saying a word. Mum left the cubicle to talk to the doctors and nurses and then to the 2 policemen who brought me to the hospital. I could hear her voice, but I couldn't tune in to a single word she was saying. After I don't know how long I turned to Nan. I want to go home now, please, I said. Nan stood up and put her arm around me. Nan, I whispered, was it worth it? She instantly knew what I was talking about. Cameron, only you can decide that. Would you have done it? What? Had the transplant operation? I nodded. To be honest, I don't know, Nan replied, but I don't think so. So, I don't think I'm as brave as you. Funny, but that was just what Travis had said. I remembered how I'd cut him dead and swanned off. Andrew was right. I was no better than Travis. I slid down until I was more lying than sitting and pulled the white cellular blanket up over me. Inside, I was still cold. I'm not brave, Nan. Stupid maybe, but not brave. Don't say that. Nan rounded on me at once. It took a great deal of courage to go through with that operation. Desperation, you mean? Cameron, that's enough. That woman was obviously a couple of eggs short of the for breakfast. Are you going to just call up and give in now? Are you going to let her do that to you? Long moments passed as Nan and I looked at each other. Finally, I forced a smile. I suppose not. Pardon? I guess not. Still can't hear you, boy. No, I replied. We both started laughing at that. Nan had heard my first answer. She just wanted me to say it until I believed it. As my smile faded, I did feel slightly better, but I still didn't have the answer to my question. I still didn't know if all this was worth it. I wondered if I ever would. Right, so there's lots and lots and lots of questions here. My biggest one is it okay to do what the woman did to a child? There is no right or wrong answer here. I've got my firm opinion on it. It's your opinion. I think that no matter how passionately you feel about animals, you know me, about how passionate I feel about animals, is it ever acceptable to treat another person, let alone a child, in that way? Really intriguing. My other one links back to earlier on. Did what Marlon's dad do acceptable? He was going to lose the house. They needed the money. Was it still right what he did, or was it still wrong? What do you think? I'm really intrigued. Rather than asking you sort of like reading ability questions, I think book club questions are so much more relevant to us. So I really want you to think on those 2 questions. Right, I've loved this chapter. It's mammothly long, but look, it's brought us within very, very near to the end of the book. So no. What day? Oh, this is Tuesday. Yes, 3 more days of book. Oh, we're going to finish it this week and a new book next week. So, I hope you enjoyed your Tuesday. Well done on achieving another day of home learning. I'm so proud of you. And I will tune in tomorrow with a super, 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 super message with a special guest. Night, night.